We're live.
Yeah. Well, Chris insulted me last week by saying, "Has Nick ever had a song in like forever?" So I had to.
I was going to say Nick ever had a heart on. What we were saying.
That's true.
Never had a heart.
It's just limp. It's just sad.
It's your first 5 minutes, however you want to spend them.
It's got that. It's got that Tennessee drop.
I have. Yeah. It's like that. It's the Charlie Brown head drop. It just looks down all the time. Anyway.
Little redhead girl.
We're all married here.
That doesn't work.
We're just hoping that you get laid.
It's got the Mitch McConnell
weird breeze hits you guys and just gets hard. So yeah. Anyway, okay. We went dancing across the USA on that crazy Rambo cast. Too much rambling, too much play. We went rambling across the USA.
Thought we lost the tape there.
I know we did. Anyone know what that song is from? Just curious.
Vacation.
There you go. That's right. It's the second. The most popular song from the movie is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lindsey Buckingham.
He wrote both of those songs though, but that one's at the end credits. But most people don't know that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that StreamYard now has the ability to touch up your appearance on camera?
No way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
maybe you should try it.
I'm gonna untouch up my appearance here. Hang on. That's normal me.
Okay.
Ready?
If I was producer, I would.
And here's touch up. Make Chris look good appearance. There you go.
Oh
no! I just see Jack now.
You actually look like
you
Jack
look better.
now.
You look better. Yeah.
So
how do I just do Chris? Let's see here. I don't know. Can't figure it out. I tried.
Wow.
There we go.
So there's
me.
There's
you.
And
the one that says solo layout.
Here's the digital touch up my appearance StreamYard.
It just got darker.
Okay.
I see.
Oh,
yeah. It fuzzed your face up a little bit.
My little baby face.
It's very slight.
It made you look whiter too. I think this thing's racist.
It just makes me look better.
Here, I'll try it too. Touch up my appearance. So it's like more smooth. It didn't. Yeah. Here, I'll kick up the definition too.
Can you get any whiter?
Nope, I can't. I changed my lighting around tonight though, because I was tired of like the light being in my eyes. So that's why it's darker behind me. Not that it matters.
Did you touch it up yet?
Though. I did. I touched it up. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do the non-touch up. Okay, ready? There we go.
Oh yeah, you look about 5 years older.
Yeah. So let's see if it gets rid of my crow's feet there.
What do you do?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is an exciting podcast for people listening.
Really exciting.
I hope people tune in.
I'm going all natural
to actually see how great we look.
Yeah, if you subscribe, not only do you know when we're recording,
so smooth.
When we're recording, you can also watch us live.
You look. I mean, you went. It took at least 20 years off your face.
So we're doing Nick now.
It did.
Oh,
I'm like all smooth now.
That's Matt. There you go.
Nick.
It's all fake. It's bullshit.
I see it.
Do you want to turn back on?
Yeah, how are we doing this?
How are we doing this?
I don't have a touch up.
You go to settings, and at the very bottom it says "Touch Up My Appearance." You just click that on. Yeah. Give it a second, and then.
Yes, Randy. Everybody's been on vacation except Nick.
No, I was on vacation. Well, yeah, I had 1 week of work, and then I was going to go to Montana, and then.
Touch up. Oh, look at that! It actually makes a difference.
Wait, where's Jack?
I'm using my iPhone camera now.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
I can't figure it out. I went to settings. It says layout. Is that the one I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Oh, touch up my appearance. I got it now.
Wait. What?
Jack, it didn't do shit.
He found the button. Wait, give it a second.
What? I'm giving it a second.
That's me on the left.
It's.
I don't know his name yet.
It gave you hair too.
Yeah, it did. Made me younger, gave me hair.
Gave
What
me
a life.
hair.
What
Gave
a
you
life.
ethnicity.
I mean, that's what like looks like to have like clear and like smooth skin.
Skin again.
But it also like just blurs away all pores. Like
Exactly.
what humans don't have pores
So,
now.
should we,
Right.
people in the chat, should we do the natural look or the
I'm gonna
enhanced
go all
look?
natural. Back
Yeah,
to
natural.
I think they're used
Warts
to
and all.
the
There we
natural.
go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So
all the imperfections and 43-year-old acne. Let's go.
speaking of,
I had a good time in California.
We can't see that.
we
We
can't
just
see
see
what
like
that is.
a weird. Yeah, it's like that's what looks like a bag of lettuce. It's just
Hey,
All
okay.
right.
See, what's CBD though? What you get
Ah,
CBD for? You get the
gotcha.
good stuff.
I
What's you
got
got?
CBD.
some of these. These were free. You can't see the green screen.
Oh, is that gum?
it's just a clear box.
I like-
It's they're.
He could be
they were
holding
free.
a
If you
dildo
buy
right now,
something,
we
you got
wouldn't know.
something free.
It's like,
You
Can you
got
imagine
this
if you had a
thing.
dildo? It's just a big green dildo.
ooh, the caminios. Caminoans.
Caminos. More of the sleep
Caminos.
stuff, which has been working. Been sleeping.
That's
Hey,
good.
as long as it helps you sleep at night, man. Whatever.
Oh,
gets you through the
Camino's
night.
good actually. I've had
No,
Caminos before. Those are actually really good. Yep.
Now,
really great.
why would the SD on Jack's hat also be? Because it's not green.
It's got blue around it. yellow.
It also depends
Oh.
on where his green race. Like there's a green.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, what's it called?
Jack's
And
good.
this is-
Jack's be good for at least a couple of days.
And this is for headaches.
He's already took it
Oh,
all,
nice.
I think, before we hit record.
This week's been brought to you by Hashables.
Ashbles.
Yeah, every
Gucci
year,
mango.
Solvent.
every year we go there, we go in there
infused
not
bites.
knowing what to get,
Mhm.
and they usually just go. But it was like
So one of my coworkers has a friend that works in the cannabis industry, and brought in some like care packages. I have it upstairs. I haven't brought it down here yet, but I got a bong for free.
Nice.
I haven't smoked out of a bong in probably 20 years, but I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
it's free. What killed me was like $45 in taxes.
Oh yeah, see that's where the medical marijuana card comes into play. So in Massachusetts, if you have a medical marijuana card, you get you don't pay like the 30% or 32% sales tax. That's the way to go. Like
It's
if you have a
medical,
headache,
yeah,
you qualify for a medical marijuana card.
Oh man,
Nice.
it helps out my sinuses, headaches for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Holy crap!"
Half the time
So,
it's
like,
just hair of the dog,
my-
but you know.
My wife like tweaked her back working out the other day, and she's got like a real bad like back pain right now. And I've got this. It's
What?
the best way I can describe it is it's like THC infused Tiger Balm. You guys ever use Tiger Balm?
Oh yeah, Tiger Balm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
for
stuff's
muscle.
amazing. This stuff actually has THC in it, and it just relaxes all of your muscles. Like it's the best. And if you ever are looking for like relief of muscle pain, find yourself some THC topicals. Not CBD, but THC topicals. It's the best thing you can do for your muscles.
So-
I mean, it does come with a warning label, right? Like if you're rubbing that in her back, like that could lead to a third kid.
Whatever you're doing with your twerking,
No.
or your tweaking,
That is a physical impossibility.
Oh, okay.
Currently, she no longer has the plumbing that would allow that to happen. So
Okay.
but she
Yeah.
can still
Nope.
twerk it apparently, right?
she can
No, you
twerk
said
it.
tweak. She tweaked her back. Sorry,
She tweaked her
Oh.
back.
it's a
Ah.
minor difference
I like
there.
it.
It's like when you take away all the letters in Twitter, it just becomes an X. Somehow.
What a fucking idiot, right? Like, why would you do that?
Well,
Why would
I don't
you
know.
take one of the most recognizable fucking brands in the world, even though your fucking product currently sucks donkey dick? But like, why would you take that away?
Well,
Right.
Easier to spell.
the only logical explanation I've read about it was, his first company was called X
Bank
as
X,
well.
or X,
yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
was, yeah.
And then it became PayPal when he sold it. And
Right.
what he's trying to do, the only way he could successfully do what he always wanted to do his original idea was to get a app that had already a huge following not fan base, but just a recognized app. Then change it to what he originally envisioned with his first X app. And then so it could be like another money sharing app or whatever. So it's going to be building out from it. And that's the only
Cryptocurrency.
that's the only logical thing I can think of. Because yeah, exactly. Like, why would you change it? Why would you take something that
But then
everyone's always called as Twitter?
Then
and
wouldn't you
tweets
want
and everything
to
else?
secure certain things like the person on Twitter that has just X as their username?
Right? X.
You know, like, wouldn't you come up with a better logo design?
Mhm.
I'm just saying that you
Like,
know
he sucks.
that logo is shit.
He's like not good at what he does.
He's a
Well,
billionaire.
He's pretty good. I mean,
I
the
can't-
privatized space industry. I mean, it's pretty-
I wouldn't mind
He
being.
didn't do shit.
I would-
He just put money
I would
into
be
it.
that. I wouldn't mind being that shitty with being that rich.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if your father was an emerald miner, you probably have a lot of money too.
Did you see that woman that won the lotto in California? Wasn't it California? Won it? Like,
Oh
she,
yeah,
she went to the
I didn't
store
see
to
what-
confirm, and like she just like ran out, like face covered, like sheer panic because they basically confirmed that she won the 1.3 billion or
shit.
whatever. You know, it's like, oh, I mean, yeah, but that's God. I mean, imagine how scary that would be for at least the next month or two.
I couldn't figure that out. I would be terrified.
Exactly.
I would actually be scared. Like, what would you do?
I wouldn't want my name photo out there
Well,
at all.
That's what you're supposed to do. Is like you go to a lawyer, you hire them, and you say, I want to set up a trust, and you give it something like X Trust. You know?
Then fucking Musk is going to take it all.
Right, and then and then that way your name
No, the-
is never
the government
out there.
takes
It's
most
like,
of it.
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
The biggest winner is the IRS for getting 800 something million of that 1.3 billion. You still get like 400 million, but
still way ahead of a
most
lot
folks.
of people.
Yeah.
A lot of
a
people
lot
out
of
there.
people. Yeah.
I mean that amount of like mental financial security. Now, I mean the thing to do is invest some of that, diversify it, and then
She
spend
bought
half
Twitter
of it.
stock.
Should have bought it when it's low.
When it was low,
So,
yeah.
But
It's still a lot of money to give to the. I mean, I know it's a lot of money to have, but the government gets the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be wasted.
Oh yeah, no
Fuck
doubt.
the government.
Fuck the government.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Hope no one in the government heard that.
Oh, they did.
I said it.
no, our TikTok that's on our app all heard it.
Well, I'll tell you. After watching the movie I saw today, I want to say fuck the government.
Oh, you saw Oppenheimer?
Oh, you saw Barbie?
Yeah.
Sloppenheimer?
Sloppenheimer is actually a reference to the gratuitous sex scenes. Although Cillian Murphy says it wasn't gratuitous; it was art. That was just an excuse to put her boobs on the screen, dude. Like
Exactly.
there's nothing
Exactly.
artful about that whatsoever.
What are you talking about?
Oppenheimer.
In Oppenheimer, there was a sex
Pugh.
scene that was just
Pugh.
completely
What's her name? Pugh.
Florence
Yeah,
Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
Like-
Yeah.
like. I mean, I didn't hate it. I'll put it that way. But like, there was literally no need for it.
Now I told you when I saw it because you were watching something else that I like. What was it? Friday when I saw it. I
Don't
gave
spoil
it,
me.
I'm not spoiling anything. And
No,
I
don't
want
spoil.
I'll get to last week's episode. I want to apologize to Matt for spoiling him for Indiana Jones.
You didn't spoil me on Indiana Jones. You spoiled all of our listeners
Oh,
who hadn't
I-
seen it.
Had no.
I had seen it. I'm just
Oh,
saying that
okay.
if
And now I won't
have-
watch it because I was spoiled.
All I'm saying is like if
That
you
wasn't
haven't
that big of a spoiler. It was a little bit of a spoiler.
Okay.
A little massive.
Okay, you gave away
Yeah,
the plot of the movie without a spoiler
Oh,
warning,
Billy.
and you hadn't seen it.
And see, I've seen it.
You
now.
just watched two reviews or read two reviews. That'd be like me saying, "Oh, you know what? Don't go see
What?
Barbie."
I didn't
I'm
say
going
don't
to tell
go
you
see
some
it. I said but I
Chinese
probably.
conspiracy theories about Barbie that's going to blow your fucking mind.
Right.
Okay, guys.
Well, I
Don't
didn't
go
say
see
don't go see it. I just said this is
heard
what
she's
I think
plastic.
has happened. But anyway, I said I probably wasn't going to go see it, but I ended up going see it because Cliff and Jay down in San Diego said they enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, I'll go watch it. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But shit, what was I saying? Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
It blew
Oh,
your
yeah,
mind.
You're,
sorry,
you're
when
referencing
when
our
I- yeah.
conversation.
So yeah, when on Friday, Chris and I had just a quick little text back and forth, and I said, "Oh, I just got out from Oppenheimer. I gave it a B plus, and I'm still kind of holding on a B plus." What was your rating?
Wait, did the sex scene bother you?
Okay, the sex scene to me doesn't make sense. Like it's in there for no reason. Actually, her whole character is in there for no reason. Like and-
No, not necessarily. There's
Is she the wife or a
there's reason
scientist?
for her.
Neither.
She's neither. There was a connection for her
Bartender?
and the Communist Party. That was the connection for her. That was why she was in the movie. But getting her naked not once but like 2 or 3 times in the movie. It was. I mean, it was enjoyable. There's no doubt because she's very, very attractive. But it was. I remember watching like or reading an interview with Cillian Murphy and how he was like someone was talking about how it was a gratuitous sex scene and he was like defending it. He's like, it wasn't gratuitous, it was artful and it was meaningful, this and the other. So I was like looking for it. I was like, oh, that was just fucking. Like there was no art in that whatsoever. But like that being aside, all that aside, because you gave it a B+. I can see your B+. I'm gonna give it an A-.
Yeah, it's on the fence. Yeah, like a B+ to A-. Yeah,
like the movie I thought was fucking amazing. It was definitely way longer than it needed to be. I feel. I think they could have cut a good couple of chunks. Yeah, right.
Yeah, even if they cut the 2 or 3,
the blowjob lasted 30 minutes.
I mean, because like I think she's in a chair every time she's naked. Like she's just sitting there naked once, and I think they're having sex in the chair in the next scene.
Spoilers about the sex scene, guys.
So now I go. Okay, here comes
like every time she's in a chair.
There comes the chair. I mean, it's not.
Is there a chair in her involved?
But dude, the sex scene aside, like the casting, fucking amazing, right? With the exception, there's one cast member that was like that just doesn't fit, and it was whoever they cast to play Oppenheimer's younger brother. I was like, oh yeah, this is just a weird like, the fuck's he doing here? Kind of situation. There's probably more too that they got cut, right? But like. But like the casting was amazing. You get some serious cameos in this movie that you're like, oh, but that's fucking what's his name?
Yeah,
I don't want to surprise
anybody. And they're just little bit roles too. And you're like, hey, you got the actor for that? Like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, there's an actor who I think is he's a GOAT actor. Like I think he's amazing. And I was like, huh, he's who? I'm not going to tell you who it is. I want that to be like a special moment for you if you end up watching it. But like the actors were fantastic. The script is awesome. Cillian Murphy slays it.
Oh yeah,
like,
Cillian Murphy's
amazing.
Owns everything.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. And what's her name? Oh fuck, I'm sorry. His wife.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Like I forgot that was Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Oh, she plays his wife.
Well, that's
because of how fucking great an actor she is.
Spoilers for the wife.
Yeah, right. But that just shows you how like great of an actress she is. Like I forgot completely that was her.
But even Cillian Murphy too. It's like you can tell he dropped weight, to look more like him. Never at one.
He dropped weight. He wasn't heavy before.
I know, but you
can tell you got
skinnier.
He looked,
and you can see
the sex scene.
He owns every scene that he's in, and
absolutely.
Never one time do you think Peaky Blinders? Never.
Well, actually, I did.
Did you?
Because
Peaky Blinders hat.
There's parallels with the Communist Party, and hearing him talk about the Communist Party, I was like, oh, that's like fucking Peaky Blinders. But in the whole unionization thing, yeah, dude, it was just so good. But to my point about what I was making before, like I'm sitting there, I'm watching the end of the movie. I'm like, fuck, our government's a bunch of dicks. Well, that's like that's the whole point of it for me. At the end,
you're just now catching on to that.
Like the bomb bit was like, or the movie is maybe 60 to 70% into the movie, and then you have an additional third act.
Yeah, after Trinity,
the third act is just like the whole political side of the thing.
Well, that's really what's interesting about the movie and the way that because like you said, Chris, in our text, like this is supposedly the movie that film students will be studying for the next 20 or 30 years or whatever, and I could see the validity.
Well, the porn industry.
I can see
validity.
I can see the validity of that claim, and that it's not a biopic in any.
No.
It is, but it's more of a movie investigating the nature of power and like how there's a need for it, how it becomes corrupted, and what the stupidity of human beings do with it. And because it's not a linear movie. It skips. That's the only part that's kind of a little confusing sometimes, is that it skips around a little bit.
Christopher Nolan,
Christopher Nolan.
Mm-hmm. But I liked how he did that too, because again, I'm not going to be giving anything away, but they shot it in a way in which the present, if you will, was shot in black and white, and then the past was shot in color, which I thought was actually really, really interesting. But yeah, and like there's allusions to like Kennedy and all this type of stuff that were in there. I was like, oh
yeah,
fuck, our government's tapped. Like, you know what I mean? Like I mean, I knew that already, but what I couldn't get over though is that it has nothing to do with this movie whatsoever. But how much Robert Downey Jr. looks like what's his name, the congressman from New York, Chuck Schumer. Like he looked exactly like Chuck Schumer throughout the entire movie.
You're not paying him a compliment.
No, but that's just it. But here's where the compliment is. Like, not only is it great casting, great acting, unbelievable script, the direction was incredible, the screenplay was incredible, the makeup was insane. Like the hair and makeup and the costume direction was absolutely out of this world. Like,
he's definitely gonna win some Oscars, yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like, I mean, I remember back when JFK the movie was out with Kevin Costner, how that won tons of awards for costume design. Like this movie's gonna crush it. Like just because of how everybody looked, from Robert Downey Jr. to Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt. They all. I don't want to name drop anymore because a lot of them were kind of surprise cameos, but like what they did to make people look the part was absolutely incredible, and it was so convincing.
Yeah, I mean, I would bet highly that both Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr. are nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Emily Blunt definitely for Best Supporting Actress, and Cillian for Best Actor. I would probably edge it to Robert Downey Jr. for Best Supporting, just because it's a more dominant role. But it's
he hasn't won one yet, right?
He won Best Actor for Charlie Chaplin in 93, 92, 91, somewhere in there.
Oh, I forgot about that. Sorry.
But yeah, so 2 thumbs way up for me. I didn't see it in IMAX. I wanted to, but I live within, there's one of the only theaters, there's like 30 theaters in the country that have it. 70 millimeter in the right aspect ratio. There's one in Providence, but it's literally sold out for like the next 3 weeks. So I can't get in there. So
I had seen something about how IMAX has
did he lose?
made their money.
Sorry. Matt Tree says he lost. Okay, he was just nominated, so maybe he hasn't won one then. Okay,
so he hasn't won an Academy.
I thought he won it for. Maybe he didn't. Okay,
so I was right.
Yeah. I thought he won.
That's all Jack wants to know.
So
all that matters in life.
Was I right?
I will say though, like if you're in a theater that's got good sound, like prepare to be fucking blown away. Like because like the sound design was well, that and other bits too, like the way Nolan did it.
The only issue I had with effects was because Nolan does everything practical, which is great. He never uses CGI, which I definitely admire him for. There's a scene that they just flash at you really quick of like what it does to a human body when the nuclear bomb goes off. And you can clearly tell it's like a piece of plastic on someo's face. And
skin.
The skin. I was like, it looks a little fake. Yeah.
When he's giving that speech in the gymnasium thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I mean, it was an experience for sure. Like go to a place that's got good sound. Like you.
I know this is like this is spoilery. I just have one question. Do they play? There's a song. Do they play? You dropped the bomb on me, baby.
Nah, that wouldn't fit the period.
I didn't know if it would be like, hey, we're pulling songs from out of baby.
You imagine. I was waiting like, what if it's a Nolan film, so you knew it was going to do well anyhow. But like, what if it didn't? What if it bombed? And then you could just see like Nolan bombs.
No, it definitely is not a bomb, man. This movie is the real deal. It's awesome.
But it makes you hate the government.
Well, it's just all right.
Well, parts of it.
That's what's really complex about it, and that you see, especially with Matt Damon's character. He's the general that's like overseeing the Los Alamos build and all this stuff like that, and you can see how, like anyone, like you're trying to advance your career, you're trying to do your job that the government has assigned to you, and you see his unwavering loyalty to the job, in a way, and in that he is a friend to Oppenheimer, but he always skirts that line, of like, And then even later, when you see him, I wouldn't say like the Red Scare, but like he's going through this whole mock trial, not really a mock trial, but like this whole inquisition of his character. Matt Damon does what he can for him, but it's like
there's that one moment. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's fucking rad. Good job, Matt
Right.
Damon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good. Like I said, there's just me nitpicking about things here and there, which is why I gave it the B+.
Who played FDR?
FDR's not in it because Truman is.
No, Roosevelt's in it.
Is Roosevelt in it? I guess.
Yeah, he's at the end.
I just forgot.
Yeah, definitely in it. Who played him?
I was just trying to get you to spoil me.
Truman's the president he met with at the end. Chris.
He is, and that cameo was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
You know who that was, right?
I don't know.
Gary Sinise.
I'm gonna text you right now.
Okay, I wasn't thinking about it.
Gary Sinise.
Well, Gary Sinise was in the HBO film.
I know.
It's actually very good. Yeah, that was
very good.
I love that one of that movie. People say it's a little bit too positive of Truman, but I like it.
Well, he wasn't a rich man. The mob got him elected, but that's okay, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, yes, I do know that now. Yeah. I mean, that guy, Chris, nails every role he's ever given.
He's the GOAT. Yeah.
Now, do you think that Oppenheimer benefited from Barbie? Because the Barbie Oppenheimer duality was really played up on the social media.
No, Barbie destroyed Oppenheimer.
So, no. I don't think it's a versus. I think there are people that wanted that they wanted to go to both movies.
They go both,
yeah.
I think.
And so I wonder if it benefited from that in a way.
I think, like this year has been fairly weak for blockbuster movies, and that people really wanted to go see them. And so when you have the opportunity to go like, hey, there's 2 good movies out right now, let's just make it a double feature.
Well, and they came out at the same weekend too. Right. So that idea of
they don't do double features anymore.
Well, no, but I meant like go into one, watch it.
Well, drive-ins they still do.
Yeah, drive-ins do. Yeah, we have a huge drive-in here.
And as Matt Treese put, everyone won. I think there's
the
a
Japanese
little bit of
that.
Win. No, I meant about the Barbie Oppenheimer.
There was another cameo that I forgot about, but I just remembered that who plays like a military figure that was like, holy shit, dude. Like,
there's tons of
like
people
on screen for maybe 3 minutes, but terrified me at the same time. It's fucking awesome. Like there is a list of A-list actors across the way, and it was. I mean, you just gotta go see it. I don't want to. If I talk anymore, I'll probably spoil it.
I was watching Saving Private Ryan the other day on the plane, and there's a lot of. I forgot there was a lot of famous people that.
Well, you really like to watch some relaxing shit on the plane, don't you?
I watch things I know I'm gonna like.
You're like, I'm gonna unwind with this war movie while I'm.
Well,
I was watch Hijack
in a steel casket,
or did you watch Manifest? On
Manifest? No, I didn't watch. I wanted to stay awake, so I didn't. No, but there's Bryan Cranston's in it, Paul Giamatti, Ted Danson, Nathan Fillion's in it.
What are we talking about?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah,
and the opening scene is again has to rank up there.
So good.
Has to rank up there as one of the best openings of any movie in history. I mean, because
it's one of the
because it was one of those. That's when movies started really showing what war was like. You had a Platoon and what was the other one? Full Metal Jacket. It wasn't like the Audie Murphy movies we used to watch as a kid, where John Wayne's we're gonna storm the beach. One guy dies, but it's like these guys are it's a shooting gallery where they're just. I mean, it just really changes your. I mean, war is not a
when that Ewok got hit and that paraglider went down, and then the other Ewok found him, and he was like, couldn't wake him up.
Thin red line, yes.
It's
that's the war.
The Empire loses God knows how many. The Ewoks had one body count.
Yeah.
One.
Well, they're shorter. You could fly into the.
I'm
just saying, I was 7 at the time, and I don't think I've recovered.
Did I make this case for you guys? We're going to go on a little bit of Star Wars detour here for a second.
Oh God!
Did I ever tell you guys like the scene in the Death Star where Luke is dragging Vader to the shuttle? Right?
Yeah.
There's blaster fire going off in the background.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only rebel on the ship, so the only logical conclusion is that other stormtroopers are blowing away other stormtroopers to get on shuttles to leave. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, no, I mean,
wouldn't you?
There are some that are like, no, you're betraying the Empire. You cannot leave, and then they're fighting to get out. Yeah,
yeah.
No,
And
that's
then
a whole comic.
Nobody
book
wants
to
to die.
No, I'm just saying, like, what you're proposing right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't be
is
surprised.
a whole comic book or a story that you could do about. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised
the squad
if
that gets off. You know,
right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's in a certain point of view book coming out this fall.
Ooh, that would be good. That would be good. And if it's called The Squad That Gets Off, I hope that there's like another bit to the story.
Well, now
like
that you guys have brought up,
I'm just polishing my rifle over here. Yeah.
Now that you guys have brought up Star Wars, I want to talk about Disneyland.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I went to Disneyland a week ago Monday.
No one cares.
It was the 68th birthday.
Matt's already done it.
And it's this time.
Disney World in like 5
Jackson
years.
Glaffelder reminds me we need to take a commercial break.
It's too early.
That's half hour in.
Oh, come on. We like to leave it hanging.
Just in case we can actually do it in an hour.
Okay.
Nick's so methodical. We did ours last week, and I just was like,
Actually,
whatever.
It didn't even play. Like in when you said commercial break.
No, on mine it did.
It didn't in mine.
It did because I wanted to check.
Amazing.
I wanted to check what played because I'm kind of curious.
Mm.
And on mine, it was
What
this
played?
guy that was just like, "Hey, Nick's here to talk to you about." And it's funny because it's like it references some guy named Nick. You know what?
Colleen actually told me in San Diego that we're actually going to start adding in more commercial breaks because they shortened something to now we're going to do like 3 instead of 2. I'm like, damn it!
Oh,
Not that it's a big deal.
Fucking corporate mongrels.
Bastards.
Goddamn government.
trying to sneak
So anyway,
on our heels.
Disneyland.
I
It
mean,
was
we've
a
worked
6
hard 217 plus.
You couldn't even take the picture right, Jack, of Mickey's penis coming out of Walt.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Well,
You
to
gave
be
a-
fair,
you gave a little fucking.
Yeah,
little
give him a
stumpy
micro
something.
penis. Yeah.
To be fair, it was crowded over there. I was lucky to get that shot. But anyway, so we go to Disneyland. It's the 68th. We didn't realize at the time it was the 68th anniversary. I mean, of the opening of
Oh,
Disneyland.
you're 1 year off,
Oh.
dude.
Disney World.
Well, it's 100
No,
year
it's
anniversary.
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Okay.
Disney-
Oh, sorry,
and
he
when-
went to
100
Disneyland.
years.
He went to
And when
Disney World.
Disneyland opened up, it had no water.
So you have to go next year.
Yeah, to go 69.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
you should see what's going to happen with all the dressed up people. It's going to be wild.
you should see you should see the picture I'm gonna get with Walt and Mickey this next year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll say that.
Furries are coming out.
So anyway, if you know the history of Disneyland when it first opened, there was the roads the streets were not paved properly. They
It's
were
like Jurassic
still
Park.
wet.
Paved
It was
roads.
there was the water fountains didn't work. The rides broke down. It was so basically what they do is
it was hell on earth. Yeah.
basically they celebrated the 68th year by doing exactly what happened the first year. The first day it opened.
I see what you did.
We had ride close after ride close after ride. We did the fast pass.
That's why you got to do the 69th year because it's
Yeah,
everyone's going to be riding.
exactly.
It's going to be so smooth.
So we did
Everybody's getting double rainbows.
We did we did
John the
the,
Retired Guy says Mickey's penis should be the episode title. I'm gonna actually like shorten that up. It's gonna be mixed dick.
Mixed
Dick. There you go.
That's gonna be the episode though. There you go.
Anyway, so everything was
having a
going
hard time?
smooth in the first. We went to we did the fast pass. What's it? That's not called fast pass. What's it called?
I do
now?
love how no one has let Jack tell his story.
There's
It's okay, but I'm not listening to you guys, so it's okay. I don't want to lose what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, karma's a bitch.
Hey, did I say anything during your guys' Oppenheimer thing? Did I interrupt?
Yeah.
No, I did not. Go back and look. Anyway, so Disneyland. I know I
guys, I
forgot
went
what
to
I was going to say.
Universal.
Now,
It was really
now you
fun.
guys have thrown me off track.
The
Thanks
parks,
a lot,
the
guys.
park
Thanks a
shut
lot.
down on while you were there. The
Thank-
ride shut down. Which
But
rides
what-
did you get
what do
stuck
they-
on?
what
'Cause
do they
I got
call-
stopped on
Oh, Genie Plus. Thank you, John, the Retired Guy.
the Genie,
Genie Plus. So the first one worked. We
with
did,
Lightning Lane.
We did Space Mountain first,
Yeah.
and before that, we went on Dumbo.
I saw
went on-
Zach wasn't a fan.
He was not a fan of it.
He was like
Mr.
had his eyes like so close.
But it's funny. The whole time we're standing in line, I go, "I'm gonna go with you, Papa. I like this ride. I love this ride, Papa. I love this ride." I go, "You really like it?" Because I remember when we took Jay on it when he was like 5,
Yeah.
We convinced him to go on. It was my dad, me, Cindy, and Jay. And Jay came off saying, "I hate you." I hate you. You guys are making me mad. Anyway, and then my dad was mad. Dad got mad at me. He goes, "You should have known better." I go,
Wow.
It's a ride. I go, it's a ride. I forgot how fast it went. Like I got, everyone hating me. But anyway, so he's telling me, but if you've seen my Instagram or Facebook, you can see Zach's complete fear. And I didn't know this was happening until after we got off. He goes, "I don't like this ride anymore, Papa. I don't like it anymore." I go, "You don't have to go on it again. You're fine." So after that, we said, okay, we're going to do the Matterhorn at noon. We get over to the Matterhorn at noon. Guess what? It's shut down.
Oh.
We can still use our Genie Pass. Horn. We said, okay, we're going to go to Big Thunder. Guess what? Big Thunder was shut down. Indiana Jones, shut down.
What?
Go to the Pirates of the Caribbean, shut down. I'm like going, what the fuck? And so at Pirates of the Caribbean, I go, okay, I asked the employee, and I didn't yell at him. I said, okay, I'm not upset with you. I go, I'm not mad at you because you have no control over this. I go, but who can I go complain to because this is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And the whole day, rides kept breaking down. So then we decided to pay $25 extra each to go on the Rise of Resistance.
Oh,
so
okay.
Great, isn't it?
We get on there. I'm like, okay. I wasn't like, I gotta go on there. So we get on there and we're getting kind of, even my wife.
For the record, Jack is the one speaking about Star Wars right now.
Right.
Yeah, it was me. And you get in the beginning and you see, someone that.
Whoa. I wouldn't.
Don't spoil the ride.
I wouldn't spoil the. I would not.
I'm not spoiling anyone. You see someone that you would recognize right away.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you go on a little thing.
Yep.
And then you walk through
another thing.
Something that looks like it's almost a trash compactor. Be honest with you, I don't know what it was because that's when the ride broke down.
That's where it broke down. That's where it broke down for my wife, and it was our family's last ride in Disney World. This was it. We were riding that one last time. Fortunately, my kids and I had already ridden it, so they already knew. We already got to experience it at least one time through. But we were like, "It'll be okay, sweetie. Come on the ride with us." And it breaks down right at that same spot.
And what they told us was it's the internet. It runs completely on Wi-Fi. So if it if Wi-Fi gets knocked off, it takes an hour to reboot it. That's what they told us. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking, okay, it's Disney. If this is your main attraction that is drawing people to Disneyland now, hey, let's get a booster. Let's get one of these. Let's get one of these, Disney, that helps your internet.
I heard that ride breaks down because the animatronics behind a certain character that rhymes with Ben Solo.
But then we sat there for like 20 minutes and they got us in lines and stuff like that. Okay, you can use this to come back again. So we're like going, what a bunch of. So we went to the complaint department. And we wanted to use it for some Disney little train thing in Disneyland, but you couldn't use that because that was down.
Oh my god!
So then we walk out to Jana was doing she was getting her lightsaber, all that stuff. So we all walk over to Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
and we're doing a couple of things there, but there was so many things still broken over there. Storybook Land. I mean, everything was breaking down. And we get there, and Jenna goes, it was like an hour and a half later, hey, it's back up. Right? So we go, well, let's go back over there.
Oh, no.
By the time we got there, it broke down again.
Fucking man.
I said, well, I'm not wasting my time. So from like noon on, everything just kept breaking. So Disney will be getting a letter from me. We got our money back on the Rise of Resistance. We got the $25 back.
You should get your whole money back.
I'm going to get my Genie Plus back.
It should be a rule that if more than 3 rides break down,
that's ridiculous, man.
Well, I'm gonna try and get all my money back.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so pissed that
you wasted your day,
and we didn't want to ruin it for Zach and Alex. We're trying to be.
Why not? They ruin it for me all the time.
Yeah, that's true. But it was. They enjoyed it, but still, it's bad enough that they don't have any shade there. We were on this. We went on. We went on. We went on Big Thunder twice, but the first time, it was so damn hot.
You didn't have any marine layer at all in the morning, or
no? It was just complete. It was complete sun. I mean, it was I know what they want to do. They want you to get off and buy their $5 water bottles.
Yeah, of course,
because you're literally ready to pass out because it's so fucking hot there. Again, I wouldn't care, but for me, you spend a lot of money. It's not it's for the experience and it's for the memories.
Yeah, and if the experience is shit, then
and all I remember from this trip is it sucked.
Pop's vein and his forehead's bulging.
I was very calm.
Did he get off a ride?
Very.
So I just want to mention this show. I know I mentioned it when I went to Disney World, but it's called Behind the Attraction. It's on Disney Plus. Behind the Attraction. If you enjoy Disney or Disney attractions and you've been on them and you've had a bad experience like Jack or a good experience, and it's cool. There's probably about 10 episodes. It's recent. I think it was 2021, so it's within the last couple years.
I think I've seen this.
But they covered the Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, Star Tours. Even if you're just a Star Wars fan, it's worth watching the Star Tours. Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror is on there.
I thought the Haunted Mansion one was pretty awesome.
It's cool because they show exactly how they did it in different countries at the different locations.
They did it back in like the 1960s, dude. And that's just cool how they came up with that shit and how
the best haunted house is Disney Paris.
Is it the voice?
That's right. We've talked about that.
Yeah. The voice of the woman like in the glass is actually like. One of the guides, like one of the cast members, is like her granddaughter or something like that, or great granddaughter.
Yeah,
so that's not a real person stuck in the glass.
So she walks by it every day, and she hears her grandmother, who's since passed, but she hears her grandmother talking every day.
That's a really cool.
So in a way, it's kind of haunted.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
and on that, it kept that ride we went on once. It kept stopping.
Haunted Mansion.
Stop because I think I don't know if the people having trouble getting off the damn ride, but it just would stop, and then I got called out. I was leaning forward because the air conditioning was. I go, oh, the air conditioning is forward, so I had my hat with my glasses on, and Cindy had pulled out her phone, and the guy goes, the guy with the hat with the glasses on his hat, no flash photography. I went. I go, he's got to be talking about me. I go, I didn't take a picture. My hands are clear. My hands are clean. So I got called out for something I didn't do either. Disney assholes.
Man, life's just unfair to you, Jack.
It is unfair. It is.
Since we're just talking about amusement parks, I also went to an amusement park while I was in California. So after I left San Diego, first I'll talk about the zoo. Cliff came down to San Diego and
he said that. Came down just to see you.
Just to see me, yeah. Cliff was a sweetheart because
but he said he didn't. I asked him, "Did you bring him a hot dog?" He said no.
No,
fuck,
we did not.
Cliff.
He did not. That's traditional Cliff though. He never brings you a hot dog, but but it was a very Cliff trip. It was so he came down. He wanted to come down and see me because at the time I was only going to spend like one day in San Diego after my conference and then fly back. But then another friend that lives up Pasadena was like, "Hey, could you come up here and?" I've got like a free pass to go to Universal. I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, so Cliff comes down and I go like, hey, where do you want to go eat? He goes, let's go to that tater tot place. I was like, oh, okay. Let's go.
This is in
Bub's in San Diego. It's right next to the stadium.
Oh yeah. I ate there.
Yeah.
I know. I know I didn't know it was called the tater tot place.
That's what Cliff called it. Yeah. So like it's Bub's. Bub's by the ballpark is the name of the restaurant.
They got rid of all their Padre cups because I think people were stealing them.
Why would someone want to steal one of those?
Jack drinks from his Padre cup that he stole.
Actually, to be fair, I have one, but I didn't steal it.
Oh,
might have been my daughter-in-law, but I'm not going to say who.
Oh, okay. So I tell him that another coworker who's from Australia has never been to San Diego, and she would like to go to the zoo. And Cliff was like, "Oh yeah, let's go. I've never been to the zoo either." And I was like, "Okay." So we make the mistake of telling this very young Australian girl that
Oh shit!
We will just do whatever she wants to do. So we walk every fucking step of that damn zoo. And it's already been a week of me walking around 15,000 steps a day, and it's like, fuck. But anyway, Cliff loaded up on the suntan lotion because he's just about as white as I am. But he quickly learned my method of not getting sunburn. Of like, you look at the animal, you step back into the shade, like, oh, there it is, and then you just come back. And he really admired that. But then the next day,
did he love the zoo though?
He did like the zoo. It was a good zoo trip. I did not know that they got rid of the giant pandas, which was to my disappointment, because they were there the last time I went in 2011. But
well, they fed them to some other animals.
Apparently the Chinese government owns the pandas, and so they
own all pandas everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Well, the two they had.
Yeah, the two. And but everything else was good. You got to see the only animals that weren't out were, of course, were the ones from the Arctic. So we didn't see any penguins or polar bears. They were all
too fucking hot.
Too hot. Yeah, that was a good trip.
Better get used to it because it ain't going away.
But the next day though, up in Pasadena, we went to Universal, and Cliff came along to that as well because he'd never been to Universal.
He's never been to Universal?
Cliff just doesn't do anything, which is so funny. He's like, dude, Cliff,
you
live literally 2 miles from Universal Studios, and he'd never been. He'd been to the
Universal. To be fair, Universal Studios good one time.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, actually, I went in 2018, and they changed a lot since 2018 because they added the new Super Mario Brothers world, which was really cool. And they changed the tram ride to add in a lot more 3D stuff.
Well, I heard, spoiler alert, they're adding the sex scene from Oppenheimer. Yeah. They're trying to get more people to show up.
It's going to be awesome.
It's actually a wet ride.
It's a wet ride. Yeah. What you do is it's going to be on the tram ride, and where it used to be the tunnel of ice, it's just going to be a bunch of boobs, and they just circle around you.
For no reason.
Just boobs. Just
like the movie. No fucking reason at all.
And the surprise though is that one of them's going to lactate on you.
Okay, there you just don't know where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
In St. Patty's Day, they turn it green.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But
go Irish women.
Yeah. Universal's always great though. I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean, I think it's geared more towards kids because a lot of the stuff.
Because it's a sex ride. Brought to you by the California State Department.
Yeah. Oh, I was very proud of Jay for like one moment because he almost was like me. He was a bitter man for like about 5 minutes.
Love it.
Yeah, like so we were at another bar and Cliff and I are eating, and they literally get into town and they want to see us because I'm gonna be flying out the next day or that night or something.
You didn't invite me. That's okay.
I don't know.
He didn't.
I was not invited.
He didn't have a nail in his tire.
So Jay comes in. He's all happy, but
my airplane had a nail in it.
You got the kids there, and you got Colleen, and Colleen's just chatting away, and Zach and
Alex,
thank you. They're like, oh, I want chicken fingers, so they get chicken fingers.
Of course they fucking do.
Yeah, of course.
That's what every fucking kid.
Every kid wants
chicken fingers.
But you see Jay over there sitting next to me, and Zach's all the way in the other end of the table. And you just see Jay kind of being a dad for a second, going like, you're going to eat your chicken tenders. You're going to eat them. And then he goes back, we're just drinking beer and having a fun time. And then as soon as the tenders get there, Zach just starts pulling off the breading, and just eating the breading. And then Jay just is like, I can't do that, but every goddamn time with this fucking kid, like, he just eats the goddamn breading, like, eat the fucking chicken, and I'm just like, I love you, Jay, right now. You're such a dad.
It's funny that there are times like we at Disneyland and just walked around. I sit there and go, wow, that looks familiar.
Exactly.
Because you sit there and go, yeah. But I didn't have to worry about Jay. I didn't have to worry about Jay eating. That was not an issue. But there's a couple times I go, and then I'm like the grandfather. I'm like, come on, they're not that bad. Come on, get off their backs. They're here to have fun. We're at Disneyland. Let them have some fun. Let them cut loose. They're on vacation. Whereas as a father, I'm like going, shut up. Because Disneyland's fun for
It's
parents.
fun. It's
It
fun.
is. Yeah. Anyway.
For parents.
Well, when we went to Disney World, I stopped and got the fucking foot-long hot dogs over in Disney World.
Did you take a cliff?
Yeah. And it was like a $20 fucking hot dog, but it was huge, and they cover with all this type of shit.
That's what she
I got
said.
to the point where I was like, I'm just eating this thing out of like just on a principle. Like I can't not finish this thing with how much money I just spent on this fucking hot dog. But
It's ridiculous how much food is there, and I mean, it just like I said, but the whole state of California, gas was at least $2 more a gallon.
It's so much higher.
Let me tell you about downtown San Diego.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, it's like
I
it's one giant toilet. I mean, it is. I mean, they've spent all this money in the last 30 years redeveloping. You know.
Oh my God! Did you walk by the south side of the library now and see all the homeless people? I had never seen that in the gas lamp.
Well, they just as the day of Jay's panel, our panel, they were there because we were walking. I go, oh my God, I can't breathe because there's human shit, human pee everywhere, and it's a sad situation. But they got to do something because you can't walk around. I mean, you cannot walk around. I mean, the pandemic was great because at least you had a mask. You can't walk around because it stinks so fucking bad. I mean, it's just a bad thing going on. But it's like, oh my! But Saturday, all the cops came and they made a move. I don't know where they went, but it's just like, I said, they got to do something about this. It literally. I mean, you got these. I'm not to people that want to choose to live down there, but these things are these condos, and it's like they're 800,000 to 2 whatever, and there's people literally camping out by their front doors, and it just stinks so bad. It's just like, oh my God, I can't. This is my city, and I go back. I go, I wouldn't go down there unless I absolutely had to.
The city of San Francisco, like a year and a half ago, made a phone app for poop. Like, hey, like citizens, if you see a piece of feces on the ground, geotag it, and the city will come clean it up. It was up for a week because the city was completely covered in points that people were dropping because it was impossible for the city to clean up that much shit on the ground.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, we turned one corner to go to where we parked. Yeah. And it was you
can still find it like on. You probably could Google it.
Well, I guess in San Diego they're building locations. They're building locations where they have showers, bathrooms, and there's security there and stuff like that. I said, well, that's good, but only problem is when you have a city like San Diego where the weather is, you're never in danger pretty much from the weather in San Diego. You're not going to freeze to death. Right. You're not going to get. It's not like it's going to get that hot that you're going to you die. But I said, all that's going to do is bring more homeless here, and you're not going to have enough room in those shelters for the people that. I mean, plus it's so expensive to live there. I mean, you literally where Mission Bay. We drove by there when we come back, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's all these motorhomes, cars. People are living there. They're living there. You have the showers, and the bathrooms at the bay, but it's just like it's just too expensive to live there. I don't know how people afford.
I know
buy
there's
homes and stuff there.
In San Francisco, when I was out there, and my best friend that lives in Berkeley was telling me about a lot of the buildings that empty retail spaces and empty buildings just downtown, like the actual collapse of the downtown. And I'm like, well, you got all these homeless, you got these empty buildings, you got a bunch of rich people that don't want to do anything with these buildings because they want money, but you got all of these homeless people that need a place to stay. And yeah, there's just too many homeless people to actually provide homes for them.
I mean, it was sad. I'm driving down the different streets, and there's just people they're just laying on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
just laying there. I'm like going, are they even alive?
Yeah,
I did have one guy get mad at me. He wanted to ride. He's probably like 40 or 50 years old. He's actually in the street. I go, well, dude, I'm sorry. There's no way I'm giving you a ride. He threw something at my at the car I was driving. But I'm not picking you up. Sorry.
I think I
can't do that.
you know, I think I told you that, like a moment of being naive. First time I'd ever been in LA. I'd seen homeless people before, and I'd had people ask me for money and all that. And you give them change when you can, all that. But like my first time ever driving in downtown LA, I'd never lived there. I mean, I was at this time, but a friend of mine who worked there, I was going to have lunch with her, and I was driving to and trying to find a place to park, and I was like, "Hey, is there like a movie premiere or like a new store opening or something? Like everyone's camped out on these tents everywhere." It's like she was just like, "Those people are homeless." I'm like, "No shit!" Like I couldn't get over it.
He had a pretty sick 3-person tent, man.
Right? Yeah, like, I just couldn't get over it because I'd never seen that amount of people, other than something like that, like a movie premiere or a sale at Best Buy or something. I was like,
is there like a music festival in town?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like,
and then,
is there like Woodstock happening around here?
Yeah.
Well, it's like in The Office. I just watched the episode today where they open up the Saber store, and Erin's out front with the tent, and she goes, "Yeah, see, it's working," because she was supposed to be someone camping out to get into the Saber store, and she goes, "It's working." And there's homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John says they give the tents out for free.
Oh.
They must, because there's tents everywhere.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you another reason why Jay, because he most of the time Jay he plays it innocent, like in us four going to hell, but
I'm not waiting in line either.
But we're at the pool out by the bayfront, and this guy,
those aren't two buoys.
This guy walks up in leather pants and like a cowboy hat and white hair and the skull t-shirt, and Jay just looks at me and goes, "Look at this guy," and I go, "Looks like fucking Joe Walsh." And for the next 30 minutes it was nothing but Jay going, "Life's been good to me so far." and then this guy,
185.
The thing is
I lost my life.
I'm like 90% sure this guy heard Jay, because Jay's just being Jay singing fucking Joe Walsh songs, and then of course the guy like turns and walks away, and I'm like, and don't just turn his pretty head and like it's just the worst karma in the world of just Jay and I going, doing Joe Walsh songs.
See, that's why Cindy says we have such bad luck, because she goes, you're always making fun of people. I go, but they don't know it.
They don't know it. Yeah.
The best ones are the ones that make fun of themselves.
Well, sometimes they do, but
yeah. So
I make fun of myself. Because
no, I mean like the
people.
The
There's
self-burn
dumb people in this world. Really dumb people.
Went to the Padre game too. Speaking of hot dogs, paid for a bacon wrapped hot dog, 2 hot dogs, and a beer was $68 at this game. And I got to tell you, I haven't been to a Padre game in a while, and they got a lot of new fans because there was hope this year, but it's gone down the drain. They never sit down. I mean, I was like I was starting to get pissed because it's the third inning. I go, "All right, find your fucking seat."
Where were you sitting?
I'm sitting up in
right field,
sitting down the right field, the left field line, down the left field line, up kind of high. But one thing when you have new fans, the best thing to do is sit down low because it's less people walking in front. I mean, they never sat down. They're up there getting food. I go, how are they affording all this shit? Do they take out on a loan?
Credit cards.
It was just I go, it was the same people walking up and fuck. It's like when we went to Washington, Jay and I last year. People just don't sit down. They don't watch the game.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I'm glad. At one point I said, "Oh, I'm glad I have a TV, a monitor, so I can watch the game." These guys are just standing up, and there's.
That's a social thing, man.
I get it. I get it's a social thing, but you're in.
Don't confuse me giving them the defense for me liking it. Like I for one get pissed off and shit like that. Like if you're gonna be at a game, there are times in which you should be standing. That's when you're on defense and your pitcher's got 2 outs and 2 strikes. You should be standing. Or if the bottom of the 9th and your guys are up by 2 runs, you're gonna stand for the entire fucking side. Like you're gonna do that type of shit. But for baseball, you sit down.
Yeah.
I think football games, you should be standing.
The whole game?
Or punching somebody.
I mean, At least on defense.
I don't
at
think
least
you should,
on defense. If your team is playing defense, you have to be the 13th man.
I can yell and make the 13th man
in football.
The 12th.
Oh, right, the 12th man.
12th man, whatever the fuck it is.
You're always supposed to be the 12th ball.
Yeah.
In pool.
But no, I agree I agree in making noise and standing up, but it's just I don't know. People are just so fucking. As I always say, I go, can I have those pills that make you invisible? Can I have those, please?
Yeah,
because I get irritated by it, and it ruins my experience.
Well, I'm there to watch the game.
Travel,
okay, and you put yourself out there in the public. When you do that, you get whiplash. You get public whiplash, where you're like, oh man, people are awful. I hate
Publash.
Like I saw a Padres game as well on the first night that I flew in. They're playing the Mets, and I'm kind of the same as Jack. Like when I go to any sports game, I'm locked in. Like I pay attention. I paid to be here. I want to watch the fucking game. But I realized around the third inning that everyone around me, aside from my boss, were not United States citizens, and they have no fucking clue what the game of baseball is. And they just kept talking to me. And it's one of those moments where, like, especially in the first few innings, where I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm watching the game. And then like, oh, right, you don't get it at all. Like, and so like so then it's like me trying to explain how baseball works. Now will you be quiet? Oh no, you're still talking. Okay. Like it was a struggle.
Yeah.
They're just like, would this guy shut the fuck up about the rules of the game? I don't care.
All we asked him to do was pass that. Can we have a sip of your beer? And now he's gone crazy with the whole.
Now he's talking to me about the fucking Constitution. Jeez, I don't care.
I had a similar situation to the movies today, where, granted, it was like the previews and whatnot, where there's this two fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledick at the end of my row.
Oh no,
guy's probably in his 50s, and I presume his son or his nephew or something who's probably in his early 20s or whatever. And they're just talking in a manner in which they knew they were loud. They want everybody in the theater to hear them what they had to say.
It's not your TV show, man.
And they were those fuckballs that after every preview they're like, huh, I'm gonna see that one. How about you? Like, you know what I mean? And like it was like there's one movie that's based on a true story, which I think was the Gran Turismo movie that's coming out. And
right, I saw that preview.
Which actually looks pretty awesome, by the way. With the kid from C. I don't know if you ever seen C on Apple TV Plus.
I haven't seen it.
Very good. Oh, good one, Jack. The credits end with like it's based on a true story. He goes, I don't know if that's true. I've never heard of it, huh? I'm like, shut the fuck up! Like, stop fucking talking.
The most Boston thing.
And then after Tweedledick went to they get popcorn, and he comes back, and like, there's a way to consume any type of food and not be known from across the room what exactly you're eating. Like, he was just like crushing popcorn, but like wanted to make sure that every kernel crunch was heard by everybody.
Is this during when the movie was going on?
No, it wasn't during the movie. It was during the previews, and I was like, so which is why I couldn't really.
Were they filming?
I'm still stuck on the. I don't know about that,
Wait, were they TikTokers? Because that's a new thing where you go and irritate people, and you film the people getting upset.
I wish the people that wanted to do that took up with that Clorox challenge. They were like, I'm gonna do this Clorox challenge, and then it's like, well, we don't have to deal with you anymore. Thanks.
Yeah.
Here's another Tide Pod.
I did. Cindy has let me forget. I did knock her down at Petco. We're going up the escalator, and we're like sardines there. She's in front of me with this. I can't see what's going on. We reached the top. I didn't know we were at the top, and you know how it just stops. Well, I stumbled forward. The guy behind me hit me, and I have we had bobblehead night, and I have 2 waters and 2 bobbleheads in my hand. And I stepped on her foot and hit her at the same time. So she goes tumbling down, and she landed hard. The guy comes over. Do we need medical attention? I go, no, I'm good. But no. She has to tell because we're a lot of family members. Yeah, he pushed me down. He literally put. I go, how could I push you down when my hands were full? I go, I didn't, because you weren't paying attention. So I finally said, okay, you win. I did it. I did it intentionally. I was angry.
You shouldn't do that because then you're like admitting to that, and that person.
At this point, I didn't care. People are standing in my way.
Sure.
The food was expensive. Padres were losing. Throw me the slammer. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's like a Seinfeld moment.
End it now.
John, the retired guy, asked me a question here in the chat about. So if you guys didn't know, it's the 50th anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, and Roger Waters redid the entire album and made it kind of up to date. And he asked me if I listened to the redo of the song Money, which I have not. But his review of it was it's bad, just like his Comfortably Numb version. So in his latest tour, which I did see, he opens with Comfortably Numb. At least that's what I recall. And that version was god awful.
Wow.
Compared to the classic.
But also opening with Comfortably Numb.
Right.
That's your opener?
Well, it's already a mellow song as it is, but he took it down even more of a notch. We're just like, dude, how can you ruin a classic song? And I'm curious. I mean, I want to listen to the new version of Dark Side of the Moon.
Bless you, Matt.
I don't expect it to be that great.
I took it off air.
So, man,
I did.
Mumming, yeah, exactly. Park bench, yeah. That I mean, Roger hasn't been relevant since '84, so it's like a lot of Pink Floyd after they broke up, basically with.
How old is he? How old is he now?
Roger's
60s.
No, he's in late. I think he's 78. I think.
Is he that
I
old?
was gonna say 60. Yeah. I'm gonna be 61 here soon, so it's got to be older than that.
Yeah, I think he's 78. But anyway, yeah, that's no. I will. If I'll look it up on iTunes here in a little bit and see if I can listen to it. Yeah, it's so funny. Like I'm getting blown up too by people. I'm not sure.
One of them's Oppenheimer.
Dave Ransek just sent me a picture of Oppenheimer.
Oh, you left me hanging.
And said, Nick, what's wrong with this scene? It's a picture, and took me 2 seconds, and I was like, oh, they're all waving 50-star flags.
Oh.
Because there's only 48 states in Oppenheimer. Like he's in a room and everyone's waving American flags. It's like, but they're all 50-star flags. It's like, oh, that's what's wrong with the scene.
What's the 50 stars for?
Because we didn't have 50 states. And
I know.
Sorry.
Because a lot of people, a lot of young kids don't know what the stars mean.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. That's your education system for you.
I know. Yeah, I'm not here to criticize.
I've got tons of stuff to talk about because I missed a week. I don't know if you guys, I mean, the stuff that even you guys talked about last week, I saw Still, because Chris reminded me of it last week that he saw it, and so did Matt, watched the Michael J. Fox documentary, which I agree, I thought was very good. I wanted more, actually. I thought it ended abruptly. I was like, oh, I wanted to see more about his foundation and like what they're doing about Parkinson's, and it was good. I did enjoy it.
Oh, the Michael
J. Fox, yeah. It's funny, like how there's movies he made in the '90s that I actually liked as a kid. I liked, For the Love of Money, and then
Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood. Like they actually didn't even hardly mention Doc Hollywood.
They didn't. That was weird. They made some clips from it though.
Yeah. But I mean, I liked his stuff in the early '90s. And yeah, nothing was going to be Back to the Future, so you can't compare to that,
right,
which is nuts. But yeah, you hate it because like you hate it because he got it, before he's even 30 years old, and exactly, he's Jack's age, and you're just like, damn, 30 fucking years with Parkinson's. It's just
he's in pain too. Yeah. Like that was kind of he kind of made sure people were aware, is that like it's not only just like you can't sit still, he actually is in pain for a considerable part of his life. That sucks. Really good editing in Still, says Miami Mike. Absolutely, it was really well made.
It's on Netflix, you said, right?
Apple TV Plus.
Apple,
yeah.
I know you guys told me that.
I mean, to the editing and kind of the way they used actual footage to like splice in with the real, like with like behind the scenes stuff, I thought it was actually really, really cool how they did that. Overall, recommend for sure. Great documentary. I finished The Bear.
Right, that's actually what I was going to bring up as well.
I haven't started yet.
I
can. Fuck's sake, man! That show is
it's fine.
Outstanding.
It's so good. Yeah. Season 2 to me it was a slow build because you're, not spoiling Matt. But it is. It's great. It ends so good, and like everything that you see, the build of like, oh man, like it's and I said this I think a couple weeks ago, like the amount of cameos in season 2 is like, wow, like how many stars wanted to be a part of this show?
They couldn't get an Oppenheimer, so
right.
They couldn't get an Oppenheimer. That's right. Yeah.
There's a what was I gonna say? There's an episode in the second season that, in my opinion, goes down as one of the best episodes of television, and I hold it up against the The Constant for me with
Manifest first episode.
Holy fuck! I finished Manifest too. Fuck, I forgot about that. I blissfully fucking forgot about that, Jack. What the fuck? Yes, shit. Well, there's this one episode in The Bear that was it was outstanding.
The Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode.
Yes.
That to me was so good.
Well, Miami Mike
so
spoiled
hard
us.
to watch.
So.
Yeah, he already spoiled us. It's Emmy.
Thanks, Miami Mike.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna watch it now. I already know.
I don't have to watch it because I know it's the best episode of history.
To me, both of those, the Christmas episode and the one right after it, are the best ones of season 2.
Jesus, Nick.
I said nothing. Yeah, but
are you next? You're gonna tell me there's music?
There's a musical. It's so weird. They all start singing and throwing food, and
now you're gonna tell me there's a food scene.
The soundtrack to that show though,
it's so good. Yeah, you got REM. You got a lot of stuff.
I know that I should have watched this. I knew it was going to come up. I was just like, oh, I should watch The Bear before we record. And I just
watch it in general.
I mean,
it's so fucking.
I gotta watch Justified too. I can't.
I've been some of my TV watching time has been split by other things, so I haven't.
I fell behind.
It's on my docket.
It's not my fault.
I'm just like, it's like next up.
It's nuts though. Like, back when I recommended The Bear season 1 to you guys forever ago, the only reason why I watched it,
I thought that was Chris.
Yeah,
maybe
it was Chris. Maybe it was. The only reason why I watched The Bear is because Jack and I watched Shameless, and I knew that the kid from Shameless was in it. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. Let's see if it's any good. And I was like, damn, this is really fucking good. And it just got better.
He's the lip. He's the bear.
The lip. Yeah.
I think my brother.
He's also.
I think my brother recommended me the show even before Nick, or right around the same time, because he had watched it and just fell in love with the character and some of his mannerisms, and he really identified with the ADHD kind of aspects, which.
Well, I like how the show takes a different approach to mental illness.
My God, so good, dude. So the show is fucking Ted Lasso, by the way.
I saw a TikTok comparing the two, right?
Like it's fucking Ted Lasso. Like it is, but it's the R-rated Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Ted Lasso has like fuck. Just about every 5 seconds.
It's so crazy how much it is Ted Lasso, man. It's but in such a good way. Like it's so well done. He's also in a movie coming up too with, I think he's going to be Kerry Von Erich, the pro wrestler.
Oh.
Him and Zac Efron are doing it, which is why Zac Efron's getting all like crazy jacked. There's a picture of him of Jeremy Allen White.
Was he already with the shirt already crazy jacked?
But like he's fucking Diesel for this role. He's
really?
Kerry Von Erich for a documentary on.
Vin Diesel's in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Barbie movie too.
Is he?
No, I'm just joking. I don't know.
Oh.
But I am going to see it this coming Friday. I think
Have you guys seen the pictures comparing the Bear with
Willy Wonka,
Gene Wilder? Yeah, it's like, dude, like he does.
Oh,
it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Huh.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, because he has that curly hair. He has the same nose.
No, it makes sense.
Like he does. He does. It looks like a young Gene Wilder. He really does. And so it makes more sense for him to play the new Wonka film than Timothy Chalamet or whatever.
Why are we doing a new Wonka film?
It was supposed to be.
No, it looks awesome.
It'll be good. It's not Willy
Yeah.
Wonka like the story with the kids. It's like how he becomes Willy Wonka.
Oh, okay. Because it's funny. We watched the kids one night in San Diego. We're flipping around channels. There's nothing, in the room. There's nothing. And then Willy Wonka. I said, let's watch. And Zach goes, I hate Willy Wonka. I don't want to watch Willy Wonka. He's going on. I go, well, there's nothing to watch right now. Your brother wants to watch Willy Wonka.
Which one?
The original. The original.
How can you hate the original? It's so
and so
good.
this is Zach's face 2 minutes after we started it. On the edge of the bed watching it. I go, I thought you hated Willy Wonka.
Right.
I do. It's like,
Yeah.
But it's funny. I'm watching. I go, God, you can really tell they're on a set.
Oh yeah.
You could really didn't pay attention to it before, but it's a great movie though. It's a fantastic movie.
Well, there's so many neat things about that movie too. It's such a low budget film, and then the scene when they actually are introduced to the candy area with the river of chocolate. Like that was a one take only.
Augusta.
Yeah, because they wanted the director wanted the actual true awe in their faces the first time they see it, and so that's a real expression. There's a couple other things really did that as well, like the whole the creepy riverboat. There's no way of knowing. Like that's genuinely fear.
Oh yeah, it's all they had no idea.
Isn't that where they go spitting? She goes, spitting's a nasty habit, but she's picking her nose.
Right.
I know a worse one.
Yeah.
And I was listening to an interview with Gene Wilder. He was commenting on how like 70% of the set was edible, and but one of the exceptions was the teacup. The teacup that he drinks from his teacup and eats it,
And
he was saying it was just all wax.
Well,
And
I
he
mean,
was like,
Wow, that's
he
weird.
had to wait for the scene to be cut and spit it out.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just
What about the wooden gobstoppers?
Right.
Don't they look like just blocks of wood?
Yeah, they did look like blocks of wood.
Now, did I ever tell you guys about schnozberries?
I
It
know
tastes
what it's
like
not.
strawberries.
You know what a schnozberry is? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a dick or
It's
something.
a dick. Yeah, it's a penis.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so
Jorge Garcia told me that.
in a previous book, he actually says that like this is this, and then so if you read the previous book, you would know that when they say schnozberries taste like schnozberries,
The dicks taste like
so
dicks.
so they're licking the schnozberries.
yeah, looking.
That's so gross. I always wanted them I always wanted to see the next book afterwards, or the next story afterwards with Charlie and the glass elevator. I think is what, because I remember like my second grade teacher, or like back in elementary school, I remember them reading that to us, just like as your kind of reading time, and I just remember being so fascinated by that.
Well,
I think it was second grade. I had a second grade teacher. She would read us like we had a reading time. And it was so brilliant because all kids need a quiet time to just reflect. And so the fact that we had this, like, it could have been even just 15 minutes of her reading a story to us, honestly, every day. But I just remember it was like kind of after recess, and you're all kind of just like, okay, and she just kind of like tell us a little story, and then it'd be like, okay, next chapter's next, it was the best. So, favorite teacher moment there.
My favorite fan theory is, what if Snowpiercer is the sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and that Charlie's grown up and the world froze, but he's the only one who had the power and the creativity to create this train, and that's why it's a W on the everything else. And it's like, that's interesting.
Is Grandpa Joe back in the back with the other old people?
That fucker never dies. Yeah. Ever. Just basically retired at 40 years old and laid in the bed for 40 years or 20 years or whatever.
Why is
how bad that
doing
bed would
laundry and Charlie's going up there selling newspapers?
Yeah, makes his daughter make cabbage soup or whatever every night, but he gets promised a chocolate bar, he hops his ass up out of bed.
Can you imagine? It probably smells. That bed probably smells like downtown San Diego.
Absolutely.
Are they getting up to pee? Are they getting up to shit? What's going on?
Wouldn't any rational mother beat the shit out of Charlie after he goes, I want to take Grandpa Joe? It's like, you didn't do shit. I'm the one over feeding your ass.
I'm
Grandpa
just gonna,
Joe.
I'm just
Grandpa
gonna say
Joe.
probably under those blankets smelled like a Cleveland steamer, more so than a.
And
San
what about
Diego.
the other grandparents? Are they going to welcome Grandpa Joe back after he got to go walk and
No, it's kind of like when you take one dog away from the herd and you bring him back, all of the other dogs just like just pissed at it.
I think it'd be pissed
So
off.
they're like, "You've been out. You've been on the outside, man."
You've seen the real world.
Speaking of animals, I just I got a really fancy cat litter box. It's called like the Kitty Robot 4 or whatever. Not for me, for our cat. And
Meow's just got a new shitter.
he's got a new shitter. So I made the mistake of, because it's automated. You know, he climbs in there, goes to the bathroom, and then he leaves, and then it spins around, and cleans itself. It's great. So, no, you don't have to scoop it. It scoops itself, basically.
Where does the poop go?
In a little like kind of tray,
vaporize, just disappears.
Which is kind of closed off, so you can't smell it. But every week you just go in and it's connected to your app, so it tells you when it's like at a point where you need
You got an app connected cat shitter? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like connected because it it spins around and lets you know. Yep. I'm like, oh, he did his business.
Do you get a poop emoji comes across your screen?
That'd be good.
Because I don't have a cat, but I might get one for that.
I made the mistake of introducing it not the right way. Like I took away.
No, I think you did.
Did you shit in it first?
No,
to us.
no, that would be good though. Like here you go.
I thought you sat Mauser down and say, "All right, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it."
Fucking Cleveland steamer and the fucking litter robot.
You got to press the button here, Mauser. You got to hit the button there. Make it.
It automatically knows.
Malfunction.
It knows when he goes in because it weighs him, and then as it comes out, it's like
it weighs. So when he goes in, it weighs him.
It weighs him. Yeah. So it knows
how heavy this shit was.
How much the shit weighs? Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of an estimate.
8-pound shit.
It's just kind of an estimate on
that's
not
fucking amazing.
Not the amount of shit, but just
Can
like
they make
the
a fucking human version of this?
Every man in the world would buy that.
John the retired guy says, "Time to wrap up the episode." It comes a
Cat shit talk.
Cat shit.
I try to wait.
Not wrong.
I try to wait until the end of the show.
Actually, I wish I had it now because we have a goddamn cat.
Okay, so Jack, here's how I wrongly introduced him to it. Okay, took away his old one. Okay, and was basically like, "Here you go. Here's your new thing." Well, he walks up to it, triggers it, and he's just watching it. And then that thing starts to spin, and he's like, "Fuck this." He was literally the woman on TikTok. We all know her, where it was just like, "I don't give two fucks, but that thing ain't real." Like he would not. So you know what he decided to do? Decided to shit on the carpet. He's like, "This is what I think of what you've done to me. I'm just going to."
Mauser fucks you up again.
Mauser dropped his Tootsie Roll right there in the fucking carpet.
So
that sucks.
So I was like, okay, well played, cat. So I turned it off, so that he wouldn't get spooked by it, that he would just kind of approach it. And then I had to bring back his old litter box, and I had to play the long game. So I also that was like, okay, you shit on the floor, like you don't get access to the upstairs. He's just trapped in the basement for a while. And then
no
he stopped.
No movie time for you.
He stopped and he started going in his old litter box. Well, you get the old litter box to the point where it's just like clumps everywhere. There's mold growing on shit. It just smells awful. I'm like burning 3 candles around here.
I'm sorry. Spoiler alert! If you're eating it, if you're eating it during this podcast,
so
fucking wafts of ammonia.
It's just bad in that. But he's using the litter box again and not like shitting on the carpet. I get it to that point, okay, and then I take it away again, and I'm like, okay, you've got the other.
Mauser's like, you dick.
I also got this stuff. It's basically like catnip, and you just put it in with the cat litter. You mix it in, and then he's like, oh shit, I can get high in here. And it's worked. He's starting to go to the bathroom
way
again.
Of knowing
But well, it does spin. It's like a drum that spins.
You gotta put some LEDs in that shit. Just fucking trip them out.
It lights up when he walks up to it. It automatically has
See,
lights.
again,
Does it wipe his ass too?
No.
So again, I'm gonna reiterate. Why don't we have a human version of this? Like, I want to get high when I sit in my toilet seat and have LEDs spin around me and have something wipe my ass for me. And
I think Japan did that.
Exactly how heavy, and tell you exactly how heavy the shit was I just left behind.
Japan toilets.
I think
Japan. If you haven't seen it, you should watch the South Park episode. I think it's this current season of the Japanese toilet, where it's like, Randy has hemorrhoids, and he's just standing, and like he gets a Japanese toilet. And it's like in the fancy back room, and then like there's a whole government conspiracy thing of like, it's all the toilet paper industry being evil, and like you can't have Japanese toilets because it does everything for you. You just see him shut the door. He's like, ooh, he's so happy,
So fresh and so
well,
clean.
On that note,
wait, what?
I think do we have any emails, Nick?
Yes, we do.
Oh, I thought you were going to take another commercial break.
I thought you were going to take a shit.
No, I already did. I just didn't have to get up.
Well, I mean,
I got a magic toilet.
Maybe we need another commercial break.
Do we need a commercial break?
We probably can go ahead and throw it in there.
Cat litter.
At this point, we're going to take a commercial break.
That was really shitty. Story of mine, but glad to share it with you. I have not turned it on yet. I haven't turned it, so he's going in it, and I have to turn it on and then cycle it through.
Well, how long you had this thing?
It's about 2 weeks, so we're kind of
2 weeks.
No, maybe 10 days. I don't know.
Fucking cat.
Yeah, it's the long game. I had to do a whole week where he's going back to the old stuff before he went to the new stuff, and then pretty soon I'm going to turn it on, and then he's going to have to deal with like the fact that it makes this.
I know we had at one point we had like 3 or 4 cats because everybody had a cat here. And so I got tired of smelling this. So I the downstairs, little linen closet, your coat closet. Yeah. I cut a hole, took the coats out, cut a hole, and put a cat door in there, and put the cat litter on the other side.
Yeah.
None of the fucking cats would open the goddamn door.
Oh man.
I tried putting them in there, so now I got this hole in my damn. I'm eventually replace it, but I got a hole in the fucking door because of fucking cats.
Did you think about putting cat litter on the other side?
Why, so they shit and pee on the floor?
No, I'm just saying not cat litter, but catnip. Sorry.
Oh, at this point, no, because we're down to 1 cat.
It wasn't legal in California yet.
Spice.
And that cat that cat was close to dying. So,
okay.
No, because I was going to kill it last because we were gone for a while. So he's like,
"You're not giving me water."
He's whining and crying. I'm like, God, shut the fuck
pee
up.
is turned to dust.
Animals, anyway.
Yeah, have you seen it's a short video. It's a parrot, and the caption is, "You should be so proud to learn a second language." And it's 3 cats circled around a parrot. The parrot's just going at the cats, and finally, like, one cat gets a little curious and starts to reach out with its hand, and then it immediately switches from meows to, So it's like, holy shit!
Wow.
The parrot knew how to communicate with the cats.
That's hilarious.
That's fucking weird and awesome at the same time.
I mean, dogs. It's like our dog. I just say my son's name, like at a certain time, and because my son, it's his job to feed the dog, so we have to come up with different things. Right. It used to be, "Hey Ev," and the dog's like, "What?" It's because I'm just saying "Hey" and his nickname.
Because you said, "Hey Ev, feed the dog."
Right. And so I have to cut out like certain things, like can't say feed, can't say food.
Right.
Like he knows certain words. It's just
if I say "good boy," my dog runs across the house. Oh, I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. He's such a good boy, though.
A friend of mine had a boxer. We always had to spell park. We were like, "Hey, we want to go to the PARK," because you couldn't say park,
or walk.
Yeah. Or walk.
Yeah, I want to go to the park. I would go. I'm a boxer. Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
We stayed with my sister and brother-in-law, and she's a dog, fosters dogs and stuff like that. She got one a few days before we left. I said, and dog was. It's a kind of a sad story. The couple is getting divorced.
Oh,
and they had 2 dogs that both were. One was a brother, one was a sister, and they didn't take either dog, and so now the dogs are separated. This dog's 3 years old. It was the coolest dog. It was a big dog too. I said, well, if I lived in San Diego, I maybe I would take it because I don't want any more animals. But I said, this dog is so cool. It's just such a loving dog, such a fun dog. I mean, but I said, my sister goes, I'll drive it back there. I go, no, save your gas. Save your gas. Because Cindy wanted it. I said, oh, sure, you want it, but who's going to take care of it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll get a good home, but I just felt bad that it was separated from its, because it kept walking around the house. I go, yeah, it's looking for its sister. He doesn't know what's going on. He was in 3 homes in the span of 24 hours because one lady brought it because it didn't get along with her dog or something. Tough. She said it was just so needy, and he needed to be, pet the whole time. But he was
my dog was a rescue, and he had gone through 3 different homes, and I could not fathom. I to this day can't fathom how someone wouldn't want this dog. He was the sweetest. He is the sweetest and most loyal, happy dog, and he's amazing. Like I always say how lucky I am to have this dog because he's just the coolest. He's not a pain in the ass. I mean, he loves to lick my face. He's addicted to licking my face for some reason.
I was born to love you. I was born to
it's
lick your
crazy. But the dog is so awesome. I can't fathom how he would have been passed up.
Like, someone's definitely going to take this dog because it's just a cool dog. It does though. It comes up and licks you. I go, oh, dude, I just took a shower. It's like all that slobber all over your leg. I go, oh, come on.
Just lick
my balls. It's very cool dog. Very cool dog. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Anyway, read the emails because some of us have to go to sleep.
All right. So the first one is from Dennis.
Hey,
Dennis.
And he says
the
title is
nice.
Netflix recommendation is the title. Oh. Hey guys, I enjoy hearing you all give your opinions on the current glut of really great shows you're watching, and I can't wait to hear you discuss the first few episodes of Justified, which Jack needs to watch. I have not watched it as well. Apple Plus continues to be the class of the streaming services with Elba and Hijack, which I watched the first 2 episodes of that. We can discuss that next week.
Idris Elba?
Yeah. And the recent complete season 1 of Silo, which was good. Yeah. Which I think some of us watched that. I just want to mention something that's more a documentary. The first joint project between Netflix and the NFL called Quarterback.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Netflix was given extreme access to Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the you can tell how much I care about players. Throughout the 2022 season,
he played for Tennessee. In fact, I think he was a first-round draft pick at Tennessee.
Really? Okay. See, that's how much I care about the NFL.
Okay.
And the result is an eye-opening look at the lives of 3 NFL quarterbacks as they all deal with life-changing events, both on and off the field. I recommend it highly. Take care, Dennis.
Mahomes has to worry about his brother all the time.
Oh, yeah.
His brother's a bit of a dick.
Oh, better than Hard Knocks is what Mike says. So.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Okay, second email's from our good friend Maggie.
Maggie!
Okay, Maggie.
Title is Random Feedback.
Love random feedback.
Let's go.
Hey, Jack, Chris, Nick, and Matt. I hope your travels and summers have been good so far. Jack, I've been
good to me so far.
Boom, 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 boom.
You dropped the bomb on me, baby.
Jack, I've been meaning to thank you for talking about how Eli Manning was drafted to the Chargers but didn't want to play there. I get that trivia question all the time in trivia gameplay, and because of you, I know the answer.
Oh,
there you go.
Fuck Eli Manning.
Well, that was a random email.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And then this one, I 100% agree with Maggie on this. For the Owen and Baru crew, can you please, pretty please, podcast about Ahsoka?
Oh yeah, that seems like it would be a good.
I am super excited about the
Yeah,
show.
we'll get on that tonight.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the show,
What's
which
coming out
starts
August?
in 28 days. But who's counting? My roommate has books 2 and 3 of the Heir to the Empire series, and I got book 1 in the library. I might be reading them in the next 28 days, along with an Ahsoka episode, rewatch that Disney Plus has. I'd love to hear you three and Jack, if he's allowed to be on the show, to talk about Ahsoka.
I don't know if he'll watch the show.
She misspells it here, but I thought it was funny. I feel like Christ has talked about Thrawn for years.
Who's Christ?
I think that's an auto.
Chris.
Oh, okay.
She meant Chris, but she wrote Christ.
Maybe the Antichrist.
I can't wait to see him in live action. Rebels season 5. Laugh out loud.
Yes.
Exactly. We're all waiting to see Thrawn. Absolutely. And then lastly, I saw Oppenheimer and Barbie last weekend. Oppenheimer. Now I'm going to say it right. Oppenheimer was amazing, and Barbie was everything I wanted to be and more. I loved Barbie. Yes, I did dress in pink and go with a group of friends. Talk to you soon, Maggie.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome. Nice. Good to hear from you, Maggie.
Well, Maggie, I will be seeing Barbie on Friday, I think. So with my family, and some friends too.
Daughter went and saw it today.
Is it a comedy?
Oh,
is it a dramedy?
I didn't see it. My wife and
oh, okay.
What is? I don't even know what it's about. I mean, I know it's about Barbie, but is it a comedy, dramedy?
Yes,
I think it's
probably a bit of both.
I think it's a comedy, dramedy.
Okay.
You know,
good life lessons.
So,
I mean, the only person I know who seen it's my nephew, and he really liked it. So I don't know.
I've heard good things about it. I was like going, okay,
it's crushing right now,
and it's got a big cast too. So
big cast, big cast.
One thing
he says it's hilarious.
One of the neat things I thought the only thing I've read about it was originally the script called for Barbie to walk downstairs to get to her car, and the director said no, like she's going to float from her house to her car because little girls when they play with Barbies don't walk down steps. They actually just take
funny.
They take the doll and they put it in the car, and I was like, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
well,
awesome.
and again, I don't know much about it. I like to go in kind of just blank slate, but I'd seen some of the sets that they had made.
Barbie has a cat that poops
in the right spot.
Well, if you have a cat, I'm sure it poops. And I just feel really fancy with our robot kitty litter.
I wish I had one, to be honest with you.
So,
our cat's skittish. He
cuts down on the smell for sure. And
sorry, Matt, what were you going to say about Barbie? I don't want to cut you off on Barbie. Sorry.
I don't know if I really. Oh, the sets. Yeah, I'd seen something about the sets and how like they were made them. You know, like they were actual physical sets. So like the driving scenes, like some of the imagery that's behind her, was all made. You know, it wasn't green screened, which cool. I love live action shit. Like
I saw an article that was highlighting the fact that they did like a screen for screen recut of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
They do. Oh wow, that's cool.
It's the opening.
It's like a shot for shot.
Shot. Instead of it being the pillar, though, it's a Barbie. I mean, it's
it's a Barbie.
The traditional doll, and then smashes it for the Barbie doll.
Did they have the Barbie Winnebago and the Barbie all that fun stuff?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, sure they do. None of us have seen it, so we don't.
Yeah, that's true. So shut the fuck up.
All right.
I do want to give a shout out to my
and Maggie will also try to cover Ahsoka as well. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I think it'll be good because Dave Filoni wrote and directed. Well, I know he wrote all the episodes and he directed, I think, a third of them.
Yeah, and my daughter, huge Ahsoka
the way it should be,
huge Ahsoka fan. So she is so excited.
I do want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law who did the second annual On Amazing Race. I think we talked about it last year, where Jay and Colleen won. It's like the Amazing. You have to go drive around the city of Santee or Clanty, whatever you want to call it.
I think I do remember you talking about this.
You have to take pictures of stuff. You have to get all this different stuff. You have to find things, street names, all this different stuff. Well, Jay and Colleen were the reigning champions, and they didn't win this year.
Ooh, Colleen was furious.
Oh, they were pissed. Yeah. But guess who did win? Cindy and Jack.
What?
Now the thing that was, I kind of felt bad for my niece and her husband because they finished a half hour early, but there was a thing in there. If you got 14
you won by a technicality.
Yes, because if there's 14 different things, if you're the first one to get there with 14 different items that are on the list, there's like 20 on the list. One was you got 2 extra points if you got a picture with someone that worked with it at In-N-Out. And both people had to get pictures. So we ran in In-N-Out, and the guy was watching me. Hey, I'm in a scavenger hunt. Can I get a picture with you? Can we get a selfie with you? Sure. So then we were first because he kept saying, "Oh, you're second, you're third." It was the same guy. But it was actually a lot of fun. We were driving around, but we were in third place going into. I said, "Okay, this last leg, we're in third place. We might as well get as many as we can." And we were the first. Jay and Colleen didn't have the right. It was right turn only. They didn't have the right sign. So theirs didn't count, so they got bumped back, and we just beat my other niece and her husband by seconds. So we turned it in first, and we ended up winning by a minute and something seconds. So reigning champions.
I you know what? This was probably the most exciting thing I've learned about on this podcast. About your trip.
Since cat shit. Yeah,
it was actually a lot of fun because you have to go in these you have to go into we had to go to Dollar Tree.
You've talked about this before, and
find different things. You have to find
now who makes up the game?
My brother-in-law. He does it all. He doesn't participate.
He does it all from his head.
I mean, that's sad. Like
nice.
So
nice. He does.
Yeah, I thought that picture was something else for a second, but
I thought it was vagina.
There's different challenges. It's different things.
I definitely thought that was fucking.
I thought it was a vagina too.
You guys have dirty minds. Dirty minds.
Anyway, is there anything else we want to talk about?
Why would you think that that's a vagina?
Well, the way you held it up at first was just the lower half of the
Yeah.
picture, so it looked like.
I thought I was watching Oppenheimer, but it was anyway.
No, there's tons of stuff. I think next week we should have a full-on review of Indiana Jones and also discuss the new Mission Impossible, which is another movie I watched.
What happened to that one movie that we talked about a couple weeks ago with the one where it's Tom Hanks, he's in it, and a bunch of people are in it. Did it do well?
Oh, Meteor. What is that? Asteroid City.
Oh,
Asteroid City.
Yeah, that was.
Well, yeah.
I did discuss that. That might have been the week you were out, or someone. I did discuss it. It was it's my least so far. It's my least favorite Wes.
But how did it do in the theaters?
Wow.
It's out now.
It's Wes Anderson. His never do well in theaters.
Yeah, it's not about the box office.
Yeah.
It's about the art.
It is all about the
sex.
Look, I mean, like Ralph and I both agree.
We're losing a member here. Yeah. He's fading on us.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay, sure, fine.
I'm sorry.
I don't want
see a man down.
I don't want Christ passing out on the show.
Not on this show. Not on my watch.
But anyway, if you'd like to become a patron,
don't crucify.
Become a patron.
It's got to rise tomorrow.
And then we at this point we're going to thank 4 patrons. We thank all you patrons. We thank everyone who listened to us in the chat, joined us live. You can join us live by clicking on becoming a subscriber. We lost a subscriber somewhere down the road. I'm pretty pissed about it. I'm pretty pissed about who that subscriber was.
It's so
that person.
hard to
Anyway.
All I want to say is that motherfucker wasn't real.
Nice callback.
I did say that to Cindy on the flight attendant on one of our flights. She said, "You guys all be good now," and stuff like that. I go, "She is not real." I laughed. I got a free drink out of it, so that's all that matters. Anyway,
you want to thank
our patrons. Let's thank Eckhart Richter, Glafler, Maggie, who sent an email, the magnificent Joanne with the plan, and Ed, the creepy, poopy letter carrier. Thanks for what you do and all you do. And I forgot to mention, too, in San Diego, the weather was perfect. Came back today. It was 102 degrees here in lovely Raleigh. It's too fucking hot, North Carolina.
Global warming's a bitch.
Buckle up.
So I said, I said, hey, all our relatives, hey, you're welcome anytime. We got room. They're like, yeah, okay. North Carolina? Okay, yeah, okay.
Nope.
Whatever. I think they just saw Deliverance or something and didn't want to.
Only that or Florida, where the ocean's literally jacuzzi water right now.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Absolutely ridiculous. But
stay tuned for next week when we have more environmental disasters. Great show, kids. It was one in an Earth.
Hasta luego and goodbye.
See ya.
See ya.